Was or what it is. Welcome to another captivating episode of the Common Sense Perspective. And I'm your host. You can just call me CM. All right, C and M, CEM. That's it. Two letters. All right. And so, I was busy yesterday, and I was gonna come up with some material, and then I was like, this didn't do it. And then I'm back today, and I'm like, I want to talk about some things today. So a couple things. Every time I want to talk about something, it's because something strikes me. And I wanted to kind of just go ahead and talk about it and go from there. Let me know what you guys think. All right. So last couple of days, I've been reading about Trump's running mate JD Vance, right? And there were some things said about him, right? So Kamala's a dummy, right? And she's calling him out for being, calling him out. What has he done, pretty much as a patriot, right? And it's like, don't you know his time in doing military service? Like, it's like, to go after him and to call him unpatriotic and not a patriot or whatever in that kind of context, in that kind of way, directly attacking him for someone that's a Gulf War veteran and served time in the military, done things the right way when it comes to politics in this country, and you're gonna call him, you know, not unpatriotic and all this other stuff. It's like, where the hell you come with that shit? So that definitely makes her look pretty stupid, right? And it's just one of those things. It's like, why would you do that? Like attack a guy's background in terms of he served time. I mean, you can't deny that. You can't just attack and be like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. And then that brings me on another tip, right? Because yet another attack on JD Vance is that he made a comment about the Democrat women tend to be single cat women, right? Meaning that they got pretty much a wad up their ass, and they're cat ladies. They just love cats and don't have kids, don't have families, and all that. And he's on, JD Vance is a conservative, right? So he has a family and all that, and it's about family. And it made me think about the bigger picture here, as that comment was made, the bickering back and forth between uh, his conservative side and what he means by that versus the Democrats and what they're implying that he's saying that, oh, he's being bigoted, he's being a racist, he's being, you know, misogynistic, whatever, all this other bullshit. It made me think about something of a bigger picture, but I'm going to get back to that in a second. And so they try to attack him for being, trying to be more of calling for, more, because it's no, I guess they're saying that the U.S. population hasn't been increasing, where families are having kids, right? Couples are having kids. So he's calling for expansion of more white people, right? White nationalism, right? Try to produce more white kids, and it's like, how do you come up with that if his wife is Indian and he has biracial kids? So to call him out to be a white nationalist, white whatever, um, again, that's pretty stupid to say that, and then for people to call him out later to backtrack what they're saying, be like, oh, didn't realize that he has a biracial family, like a dumbass. But as that came out, it made me think about the bigger picture, right? So a lot of Democratic women are, they might have boyfriends or husbands, but they don't have kids, right? Not a lot of them have kids. Commonly don't have kids. Not a lot have kids, right? And it made me think about the bigger picture as to why the Democrats are so focused on allowing illegals to come in and all that and kind of take over the country slowly. Take over the country. I mean, just open the walls and, open the borders. I mean, and hey, let them all come in, right? One, they're trying to build up. It's obvious they're trying to build up that Democratic, uh, support, right? Hey, we're responsible for letting these people in. They're going to support us now, right? Um, I mean, there's of course stumbling blocks that you can't just go in, get a job. You can't go in and get a license. There's a lot of stumbling blocks, but anyhow, the bigger picture is though they're trying to eradicate conservatives, right? Because think about that. If Democrats are not about family and family values, right? What are they trying to do? They're trying to bring people in for that support because if you have people that have families, families tend to be more towards the conservative side of things, right? And that right there is the key, right? That's the key. That families tend to be conservative. So what are the Democrats trying to do? They're trying to wipe out the conservatives by making things more expensive, making it hard to live in this country that you need to depend on the government to bail you out, right? Because when you're looking at current generation Gen Zers and all that, right, younger couples, a lot of them talk about not being able to get a job to help support themselves because there's not a lot of those kind of high paying jobs to support them in the first place. And at the same time, a lot of them are couples, they have boyfriend, girlfriends, whatever, right? Relationships. But they talk about how they don't want to have a family because it's too expensive to have a family, or they're more focused on trying to make money, build up a career, and all that. So, in essence, they are trying to push the great replacement theory in our faces when you really think about it. And you look at that bigger picture, and it's like it is trying to happen. And that's why they're letting the borders open to bring all these people in. Because if Democrats are and will stay in control, they're going to do what they can to give them everything that they want, especially when it comes to citizenship, when it comes to voting rights, because then the Democrats will be able to continue to just do what they please in terms of just in a sense radicalizing the country, and it's so bad. Weak laws, radicalized pretty much situations in this country, right? When you look at weak laws, right? Everything's so soft on crime. Laws are weak. It's almost like anarchy, but for what though, right? What is the end game on that? Why are the Democrats doing all that besides trying to garner future support and trying to kind of just push their way on doing what they want to do, right? All these bad deals, right? That's just driving up the cost of living higher. That's making our lives difficult to live with crime that's happening everywhere. And why? Right? Green New Deal is garbage right here where it says voters rebel against Green New Deal. Green New Deal is terrible, alright? Like, I don't get why you have to go 100% green, right? go 100% green. Oh, we're going to rely on wind power and solar power and battery power and all this other crap alternatives to gas. Meanwhile, to drive up the gas prices up and to further reliance away from gas, it just makes you like, wonder why. Why are they doing all this? Right? And so all I got to say is it's definitely greed, because this Green New Deal is slowly starting to unravel, right? Because when it comes to solar power, it's not that dependable. You can't run a power grid of a country on just solar panels, right? Not every day is going to be sunny. Not every day is going to be able to charge, you know, grids and grids and grids of power. It just can't happen. And so, when you look at this whole Kamala Harris thing, and there's old footage about her talking about how she's against fracking, right, which is basically a form of getting offshore drilling of oil, right, which is very popular on the eastern side in Pennsylvania, and currently not available to do in California, which we do have the ability to do fracking out here because there are definitely oil sources, but because of, you know, California laws and all that, it's not happening. And so, all of a sudden, she was against it, and then when she's questioning it, she's not against it. She's like, she's open to that because she's trying to pander, right? And that's what this whole thing is about: is her pandering to try to win votes and all that stuff. And then she's not going to do it. She's just going to flip it around once again, and then push her more or less progressive agenda, right? Because she has a very progressive background when it comes to just things in of her past, all right? And her way of thinking is very, very progressive, very dangerous. So that's what's happening. The great replacement theory is a big thing, right? And it's happening in California when it comes to the work environment because the way Gavin Newsom is driving workers out of California, the great replacement theory is coming in place with automation. Machines, computers, all that stuff is replacing or will be replacing humans that are performing the job, because he continues to drive prices up when it becomes a cost of goods, because that's how retailers, suppliers, all that stuff are responding to stupid things like wage increases. All right, just went to a $20 an hour raise this year, and supposedly next year now there's talk of raising again another 3 to 3.5% raise. So that is going to drive cost higher in terms of cost of goods because of wages, further intensifying inflation. And then at the same time, it's going to force businesses to either cut back on workers, cut back on hours, and or close up business. Because when it comes to government getting involved with wages, it's such a bad deal. It's always been a bad deal, right? When it comes to government trying to step in to help run businesses, it just never works. So it's just crazy how that is, when it comes to all that. And so that's what made me think about how the great replacement theory is already kind of a work in progress happening because it's money driven, obviously, that it just costs too damn much to live in the United States, especially in California. And what are we getting out of all this? We're not getting nothing out of it. They keep pandering and keep going for support to illegals, which doesn't make sense. In a sense, it's unpatriotic to pander and to help all illegals, even the ones that cause crime. You know, when you think about it, for them to cause crime and cause trouble or ruckus, shouldn't that be automatic? I mean, deportation automatically? I mean, shouldn't that be? But no, soft on crime, a Biden led United States. None of this nothing's going to happen until things change. And so that leads me to, talk about things do need to change, because if you want more of the same, then okay, go ahead, vote for Kamala, right? If she's still going to be the one. I still think they might pull her out at the very last minute and be like, dangle this bonehead right there, Newsom. All right, Vivek, what was his name? Ramaswamy, definitely American patriot. He's speculating they're going to do a last minute pull out of her and put Michelle Obama. I mean, that's to me is a far stretch. I don't know about Michelle Obama, and I mean, I don't know what she would do to run a country. And the only connection she has is, well, her husband's going to be calling the shots because he'll be I guess you could say, the first man, right? And he'll be calling the shots for sure because they are definitely power hungry. So, yeah, this whole Green New Deal is just a joke. And it's stupid because they're trying to outright ban everything in California with the whole, no gas power lawnmower, no gas power weed whacker, no gas powered leaf blowers, and all kinds of crap, right? They're banning on gas. They want to go zero emission on cars. They want to do all this crap. And then not only that, of course, they want to tax you per mile because electric cars don't take gas, and that's where gas tax would come from. So they want to tax you per mile driving. So everything that they want to do to just disservice you, right, and just get more money out of you, it just sucks. I mean, it's just bad all around. So why would you want it? Why would you want that? You know what I'm saying? It's common sense that if you want more of this and you want more of a beatdown and continued beatdown of inflation, high prices, banning of everything, right, and soft on crime. All right, let's vote for Kamala. Let's vote blue. Let's keep voting blue because that's what you guys want, right? You guys want to pay high prices for everything. You guys want destruction. All right, keep voting blue because that's what you're getting, right? You're getting what you want. All right, let's keep doing it. Let's keep it going, right? Because that's what you want. But no, common sense says that you will vote the other way. All right, and to really just make some change here, because this is so bad. Like, why would you want to continue to live like this, Why would you want to pay high prices on food and gas and all that stuff? Why would you want to pay high prices to buy a home? Why would you want illegals to come in and take up all the benefits and services that we're paying for in the first place, but they're getting it for free? Why would you want that? Why would you want crime to be rampant and there's no consequences for the crimes that are committed, because they'll just catch and release, and rather than do something. Like, why would you want that, right? It's common sense. Why would you want money to be fed to the homeless when they're not really doing nothing, and it's better just to really try to treat them for their underlying issues that's leading them to stay homeless, right? Which is drug addiction. How about this? Since Gavin's so anti-prison, all right, at some point, if he doesn't get recalled once again, or he's termed out, change needs to happen, right? So lots of prisons have been shuttered. Well, the only way to really combat crime and to really go after homeless, well, it's easy, right? Common sense, all right? Check it out. Check it out. These prisons, all right? Of course, you don't want to open up all the prisons, but they're all not torn down either. So you could utilize some of these prisons to be, I guess you could say, drug addiction centers. You could call it mental institutions. You could call it halfway house. No, it's not really a halfway house, it's because it's more than that. But you get what I'm saying. It's a solution to really dig under the underlying problems of why homeless stay homeless is because of drug addiction, right? They're not getting the help. They're not getting the push to really get off of the stuff, right? Because they're only getting further, I don't want to say encouraged, but fed to do that, right? There's really no push. There's no consequences, right? That's the problem. There's no consequences to doing something wrong anymore, and that's why things are so bad, right? And so, something to think about is common sense that if things like this can happen, right? Make people pay for consequences. It's okay. It's okay to, pay the consequences. It's okay to give discipline. There's nothing wrong with discipline, right? If you do bad, well, it's what happens. You get discipline. What's so wrong about that? It's common sense, right? If you teach them that it's wrong, maybe they won't do it again, right? But to continue just to be soft on everything, let's let things be, right? It's just so bad. And stop enabling all this stuff by just, being soft on everything and just allowing things to happen. Stop it already. It's common sense. All right, that's how you make change around here. But if you keep continuing to vote for blue, nothing's ever going to change, but continue to get worse. And then you're going to, sit there and ask why later. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why? And it's like, well, this is what you wanted. You voted for it, right? Just saying. So it's just crazy how things are. And, yeah, just funny how people are just stupid. Straight up. I mean, you need a wake-up call to realize, hey, you know what? There is something wrong. Maybe, I should do something different. Maybe I should think about things differently. But things are happening though, all right? The replacement theory is currently a work in progress, and if things don't change, then it's going to be fully realized before it's too late and then you realize that what happened. So I'm just saying, it's something to really, really, really think about. And something that just occurred to me when I was looking at all they continued attacks on J.D. Vance, the vice presidential candidate, who, by the way, if Kamala was still going to be vice president to Biden, in terms of running, and they were going to do that vice presidential debate, oh man, Vance would mop the floor on Harris all day long, right? But no, 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 it's not going to happen. So, but we would like to see this debate right here, Trump and Harris. Man, we would like to see that. Oh, and by the way, they try to, when Trump pulled back on the debate, it's not only because, of what they're trying to accuse him of, oh, you're scared of whatever, blah, 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 saying stupid shit, right? No, it's because they never agreed. Is Biden the same as Trump? No, so they never agreed to a particular debate set in stone because, see, last I heard, let's see, Biden is Biden, Harris is not Biden. So just because Biden stepped out doesn't mean Harris just slots right in and bam, there it is. No, some things need to change, right? Venues, just aspects of the debate, right? Because it's all about strategy. And Trump's he knew how Biden was very diminished in terms of his brain, right? It's so soupy that the brain was just whacked out of its mind. And so he allowed Biden to stack the deck because he knew that Biden got nothing on Trump. So that's why he allowed Biden to set the parameters and all that stuff. Well, since Biden stepped out because he called a spade and called that shit out, and Trump forced him out. All right, through a democratic coup. All right, just from words. And so now they've just implemented Harris as the next big deal, right? Without ever going through a convention or anything to kind of just see maybe there might be others that are fairly, all about it, right? Maybe they got some other ideas too, but to just go ahead and say, okay, Kamala is the one without being fair to open it up among Democrat peers to see maybe there could be a better successor than the current one that you just force fed to people, right? So either that or they want to soften the blow of the loss by taking a loser to lose, which is Harris, right? That could be the case. But yeah, so again, it's something to think about, something to ponder. But really think about it though. The great replacement theory is in progress. And of course, you're going to have denials of that and all that, but it doesn't matter because it's true. That's the bottom line. It's true. So, we're going to see as time goes on. But I still feel like her clout is not as big as, of course, they make it out to be. And so I think they might do another swap out. All right. So we'll see. I think they might even use the convention to swap out. So who knows? All right. Just saying. Because Kamala's not as popular as one might think. And she's definitely doing a lot of pandering because she's of biracial races, right? And I could say I'm biracial too, right? But the thing is, though, you can't say that you're something that you're not, right? Kamala's not black. So how can you say you're black when you're not black? Or let other people say you're black when you're not black, right? For example, all the time, because of my size and my dark hair, right? I've gotten times where people think I'm Russian. Where they get that, I have no idea because I don't look Russian at all whatsoever. But again, it's because of my size and my hair, right? Again, um, kind of like a Wolverine kind of look in a sense. I'll just use that as an analogy. Won't go into further details about that, but I get it a lot, right? Like they think I'm Russian. I'm like, I don't know where they get that from, but so I'm not gonna sit there and say I'm Russian because people think I am. I'm not gonna say that I'm Russian. No, that's just wrong because that's not who I am. That's not what I am, right? There are times I get called, people would, Hispanics would, for example, speak Spanish to me and assume that I'm, whether some sort of Mexican descent, right? And it's like, well, I'm not Mexican either, or I'm not of Hispanic descent. But I'm not going to sit there and say that I am when I'm not. That's kind of like the same thing what Kamala is doing because she's, you know, people think she's black. She just says she's black. And it's like, no, you're not black. But anyhow, this is a whole different topic. I didn't want to go into that area of it today. Um, but I'm looking at the great replacement theory that's happening. And there is some talk, some truth and merit to what's being said and the attacks on J.D. Vance for his so-called white nationalism. He has biracial kids, which is funny, or his patriotism because, for whatever, I don't even know why they attacked that. And it's like, well, he served, did time, in terms of the service. It's like, well, what'd you do, right? I mean, that's the exact question he asked. What'd you do, right? Besides get on your knees, so just saying, right? But that's the talk of the day today. All right, man, it's just, if, like I said, you want more of the same, all right, keep on blue. But if you don't, well, it's the opposite of the blue, something else. All right, I'll leave it at that. But anyhow, thanks for tuning in today. I just bring a different twist to things that I talk about, and talk about things of interest. So other than that, comment down below. Let me know what you think about all this. Subscribe to everything I got. Subscribe. If you support the channel, as I will further expand on the content creation. And I don't know, maybe I might further it into a live stream at some point when it comes to this subject matter, or a wide variety of subjects. Like I said, I want to use this channel to open things up to talk about anything and everything, that comes to mind. Like, another part I want to talk about the other day is how I don't like Teslas. All right, and hybrid cars, it's barely likable, but I don't like electric cars. I don't like Teslas, and I'll tell you why in another video. Why I don't like them. There's many reasons why I don't like them. But anyhow, comment down below. Let me know what you think about what's just, what was just talked about earlier. Am I right or wrong? All right, let me know. So I just want to say thank you. Tune in next time for another installment of the Common Sense Perspective, because everything I'm talking about, man, it's so common sense. But common sense ain't so common. And I'll see you next one.